So we figured we'd mash up some stuff like you see on the screen here today. We did this with a prompt of Harry Potter in a Lego scene, jumping through a green portal in the Rick and Morty world, and so this is what it created. We talked about this in the past. The image creator is not perfect and doesn't really understand what it's creating. It's actually combining a lot of things using the prompts that you input. So I'm going to pull that up here in a second. But you can see Morty's not perfect if you're a Rick and Morty fan. Um, but here's a mashup that we did, and we'll throw a few in here. We've got 6 quick credits today that we could potentially use all those in today's session. But was just curious, what would a Lego scene look like with DC and Marvel fighting each other in an epic battle? And here's what it came up with: 4 different images. So we have like a large Iron Man looking figure with like a trident, I guess, Aquaman's thing, which is kind of weird, and then Batman. And on each side, there are people kind of fighting each other. So it's just kind of interesting how some of the faces aren't perfect. Like this guy here almost looks like a Cyclops. And there's a mix mash of different Marvel characters on each side. Like here's Captain America with Wonder Woman behind him. So 2 different universes together. So there's a few other examples of what it put together. It's like, what is this thing back here? It's not even really sure. And then Iron Man, in the middle. So first one was probably the most interesting of them all. But for today's session, those of you who've joined, feel free to join in the chat. We pulled up a little spreadsheet here just to give you an example of like how worlds could mishmash together. So you could take like Thanos and Steve Urkel racing go-karts on the moon, and just challenge the maker to see what could be created. So we pre-built some earlier, and I was just curious what this would look like in the creator. So let's just test this out, see what it'll do. What this one is a Lego scene of Masters of the Universe. So let's capitalize that. Set where Rick and Morty has just appeared through a green portal, and He-Man has a confused look on his face. So it takes about 30 seconds to a minute to create these things. So let's jump just back over to something else that we created today, which was a Lego scene including McDonald's characters parting. Of course, I should have said parting at Burning Man. And this is what it came up with. So you can see some kind of McDonald's-ish looking characters. And it doesn't really understand what Burning Man is. I guess I should have said Burning Man Festival. So just an example of how more descriptive prompts will get you the output that you need. Let's jump back over here, see how this one's looking. So again, this is the Lego scene of the Masters of the Universe where Rick and Morty have just appeared through a green portal, and He-Man has a confused look on his face. So it's going to combine Rick, I guess, in a He-Man outfit, and then there's like a confused He-Man over here, which would make sense of like, why does Rick have this? I guess these are supposed to be Morty type characters. I'm not really sure what the deal is there. And then I don't know what the skeleton is coming through here. Let's take a look. This maybe makes a little bit more sense where they have just come through a green portal, and He-Man does look. This is like a He-Man looking character. Does look like he has a confused look on his face. So that's kind of neat. And then here. Another rendition of that. And then the last one, I don't understand why they combined He-Man, keep combining He-Man and Rick, but just kind of interesting there. So if anyone in the chat has an idea for a prompt, maybe we build one off of some of these people, actions, and places, and just see what happens. So of course there's another one here that the team pre-built, so we can try this out unless there's another idea. But it's a Lego scene of a Fairly Odd Parents in an epic battle with SpongeBob while inside the Simpsons living room. I'm really curious what it's going to output with that. So while it's generating that, we talked about earlier, this was the prompt that we built of just combining Harry Potter with Rick and Morty. And there was 4 of these that had output, but this was the best one of them all, just to give you an example. So some of the other ones, or that full picture, there's like snake-like things coming through a portal for whatever reason. And then, I don't know why Rick's coming out of a box, but another one, multiple Ricks, poorly drawn face. Seems to do a pretty good job with the green portal, though. I could see Lego kind of custom creating something like that. I'm sure there's already something like that. So let's jump back into the prompt and see what it's built. So back to it again. It's a Lego scene of Fairly Odd Parents in an epic battle with SpongeBob while inside the Simpsons living room. So how well does it do that? So it does seem like a Simpsons-like living room. I don't know, it feels like a generic living room, but we do have SpongeBob here, but I don't know if this is an epic battle so much. This one feels a little bit more like an epic battle, not so much like the Simpsons living room. Maybe the main room, but some fairly good art there. This is good. Bart in the living room as a kind of mashup, and then we have a Homer. And then some of the SpongeBob characters. I don't really see many of the fairly odd parents there. There's another one. So we've mentioned this in the past. The AI is just kind of getting better and better. There's still issues with Lego faces, and I see this a lot in some of the art in the background that is not the focal, where there will be figures that just don't look right. They look very distorted. But to reiterate this, AI doesn't really understand what people are. It really just assembles what it's seen in the past as best as it can based on the prompts that you put in. So one interesting thing, let's take a look at this. Let's build a prompt first and then come back. So if anyone in chat has another prompt that they would like to see, maybe we try to build something like this. I've been curious what a slipping on banana situation would look like. So maybe it's Thanos slipping on a banana. We just need to find a place where he's going to slip on a banana. We need to add a Lego scene. The main thing that I've seen this prompt kind of needed to build like these Lego type scenes. And in the past, by the way, we've used this prompt to come up with ideas for Lego sets. Today's more just kind of challenging the system to see how well it would mash up some worlds, from a minifigure perspective. These are things that Lego you'll probably never see do, although the movies do seem to do a lot of this stuff. But I was really just curious, can we break the system? How well does this type of stuff work? And I would say it does a pretty decent job so far from what I've seen. So slipping on a banana, just to finish this prompt out. And then the place would be, maybe I'm just curious what a Legoland theme park would look like. So for whatever reason, maybe this is like a alternate version of Thanos where he's like a good and he's just kind of enjoying a day at the theme park, and unfortunately he slips on a banana. Let's just add one more thing to see how well it does this while Mario and Luigi laugh at him. Alright, and that's going to take another 30 seconds or a minute, so let's just jump back over to some of these pictures that we've pre-built. So this was another one that we did earlier. I think the prompt was Ronald McDonald, Harry Potter, Batman, and SpongeBob all play at a playground while Ewoks watch. So I guess this is their version of playground. interesting that they're all enjoying fries together. I guess Ronald McDonald brought it in, and for whatever reason, Pikachu is there. Like, there's no reason why Pikachu should be in there. So that to me is really interesting how it popped that in there. This feels a little more right. I don't know if this is a playground, but I guess they're all playing on the ground. Why Ewoks watch. And Chewbacca has now shown up. Doesn't understand the difference between Ewok and Chewbacca. And this is like an owl-looking figure, I guess, that they think is there. So, again, as the 4 main figures that we asked for it to come up with in a prompt. And then another version of that. Kind of boring pictures, I would say, but, if you're trying to build something for your channel, and you need a specific picture, these prompts work really well. So let's jump back over and see how that Thanos slipping on a banana scene has come out. And again, Lego scene, Thanos slipping on a banana at Lego Land theme park while Mario and Luigi laugh at him. So AI doesn't really understand, I guess, the concept of slipping on a banana, and I could see that not coming completely through on a picture. So and I don't really see Mario or Luigi laughing, and I don't know if this feels like a good Legoland theme park. It more feels like something out of Mario 64, one of the alternate Mario games maybe. Another one there. It almost looks like Thanos is gonna step on the banana. I'd also say too, these figures are very Lego-like. In fact, they're almost just like the minifigures that you see come in the sets. But there's no set that I've seen that look like this. Although they tried to do a good job to copy the Lego art style, it really doesn't understand how the pieces interlock or anything like that quite yet. But maybe in the future, the next 5 or 10 years, at the rate things are going. This is kind of funny. Probably the closest to Mario, I could see Mario and Luigi kind of in a laughing kind of state. And then Thanos here in agony. So it's kind of funny. And I should have put a banana peel. Would have probably helped a lot now that I look at this. So just to give you guys a little bit of help. This almost feels like a Mario version of Luigi with the red overalls. And then I don't know what this is, but feels a little more Legoland-ish, I guess, in the back. But how does it know what the Legoland theme park is exactly? So maybe let's build a couple more prompts. Again, if anyone in chat has any ideas, let me know. But I would say let's pick the Smurfs and Charlie Brown doing something. Or actually, let's go with this pre-built prompt so we don't have to spend too much time. So again, we'll do just a couple more of these and then end it, unless you guys have more ideas that we should generate. But a Legoland scene of Darth Vader, Bowser, I don't know if I spelled that right, and Mr. Burns from The Simpsons happily playing a board game together in the Futurama. Let's add the headquarters. And I just feel like this is going to be a mess. But while that's generating, let's take one more look here at. So I did a test actually running the same exact prompt twice, and it usually will generate 4, sometimes 3 pictures. I've even seen it generate only 1 picture, down to 1 picture in the past. I don't know if it's just a limitation, but it actually generated completely new prompts, which leads me to believe that every single time you will not get duplicate images ever. It'll just create new images every single time. So this goes back to that epic battle between DC and Marvel, and we've already seen these 4 images, but if we look, we'll see, and I don't know, oh crap, we'll see another 4 that it actually created that are completely different than the previous 4. So if you have that question, does DALL-E 3 change what it does? Each time it does, actually, from what I can tell. And I don't know if I'd run this prompt again if it'd give me something else, but it feels like it'd probably just continue to mix mash things together as best as it can. And I kind of appreciate that there's not um, this archive of just pre-generated things that maybe people have come across twice, that if any of us generate the same prompts, it'll come up with different things each time. So back to the scene that we looked at earlier. And this is exactly what I expected to come out. Was going to start pulling out Futurama characters, which is one of the things it seems to do. It just kind of has a mind of its own sometimes. So to reiterate, let's take a look at these four. A Lego scene of Darth Vader, Bowser, and Mr. Burns from The Simpsons happily playing a board game together in the Futurama headquarters. So we do have Darth Vader, but we're missing Bowser, and I guess this is the closest thing that they could come up to with a Bowser. And I don't know if it just needed more definition to get that right, but some more testing would probably answer that. Fry has shown up, and I guess this is their version of Mr. Burns, although it's Abe from The Simpsons is what I can tell. Here's another one, like maybe that's just the Simpsonized version of what Mr. Burns looks like, so, but it still feels like Homer's dad. And then this feels like they gave it Fry's hair with like Yoshi and Bowser mixed together, which is really interesting. And they are playing a board game, but they're not in the Futurama headquarters. I would say it more feels like they're in the Death Star. Homer's now shown up, and again, I have recognized, like, once you give it just too many kind of inputs, and again, just trying to break the system today, it'll give you this mishmash of things. So this is the first time Bowser's actually shown up in the correct form, but there's no Mr. Burns, and I think that this is Mr. Burns, but it's just probably pulling from Simpsons Happy, from what I can tell here. And then the last one, closest one to Mr. Burns that I can see, we have a now Homer combined with Bowser, and then Darth Vader has been consistent through it all, and the board game too. So good job there. Okay, so let's do one last one, and I've seen a couple here that I thought would be funny, like maybe everyone's switching heads. Could be a funny one. Five Nights at Freddy's might be a little too modern, but I'm really curious what it would generate for Five Nights at Freddy's. So maybe let's start with that as the place. And pop that in there. Okay, so last prompt for today. Just trying to mishmash worlds. Everyone's switching heads. I gotta remember to add the main prompt descriptor for Lego, which is a Lego scene, which I've seen work really well for these types of minifigure type scenes if we're trying to create something. And then let's see. Seems like it'd be funnier to see like a large amount of characters, like the Sesame Street characters maybe. See what this comes back with, and that's it for the pre-built stuff that we have today. back to the prompt. That didn't take too long at all. So this looks kind of cool actually. And it seems to know what the Five Nights at Freddy's characters are. So this is the first time I've seen those as kind of like a Lego character. This could be something that we play with in the future. For a short, we'll maybe put a short out tomorrow about Five Nights at Freddy's now that we know that we can do that. So stay tuned for that. But this is a Lego scene with Sesame Street characters while everyone is switching heads. So did not get the switching heads part, passing them back and forth while at Five Nights at Freddy's. And I would say it has gotten the Five Nights at Freddy's characters in there. I think that's Freddy, or I can't remember the exact that one, but it has mishmashed them together. That's a little freaky. It's like the guy from Saw almost. A Saw Lego set, that'd be interesting. So maybe do that at the end here, just to see what else Saw Lego set might look like. Since it's a couple days after Halloween, but we can see, the Sesame Street characters here in the background. So I don't think it's gotten any of this right as far as them switching heads. So it doesn't really understand what that is, because there's not pictures of people switching heads. It only, I guess, would understand prompts that it has, but again, it has Five Nights at Freddy's here, which is really cool, in a kind of a Lego-ish form, or a minifigure Lego type form. Maybe have a 3D printer. You could come with an idea just based on that. So pretty cool. All right, let's use this last credit here and do this extra credit one. Like I said, a Lego scene. How about a Lego set themed around Five Nights at Freddy's, the box in the background. Right. So with the box in the background, it will actually build the box in the background. Let me see if I have some examples of that. So we have a short about One Piece that we did yesterday, and you can see the boxes in the background just basically putting with the box in the background as the prompt. So let's jump back up here. This is really cool. So yeah, we'll release a short tomorrow about more Five Nights at Freddy's things, but here's what a Five Nights at Freddy's Lego set would potentially look like. So it does understand what that is. I know it's a game, so it could pull in the game. Probably not so much the movie is getting pulled in, but it tries to bring in all the Chica, and it's got Freddy's head on there. So if you're looking for an idea for Five Nights at Freddy's, this makes me kind of want to build a modular around Five Nights at Freddy's now. Now that I see the potential of a way to build Freddy's head on the top, that's kind of cool. We've talked about this in the past. It doesn't really understand words so much, but another cool to see the box in the background. And then sorry, its age is 5 to 4, so got to be in that age range to play with this box. But another rendition of that. Anyway, thanks for sticking through this to the end with us. Hopefully you had fun watching some of this stuff in here. We're gonna get on here live every few days and test out the algorithm during the day. So join us in the future. We'll prepare live streams 24 hours in advance, but appreciate again everyone having a little fun with us as we tested out this prompt and tried to break it a little bit with some of the prompts that we came up today. Thanks.